Hey guys, today we're going to have a quick look at some of the options when you're doing your invoicing. I've been asked to do this regarding especially combined and detailed invoices and the difference between them. What we have here on the screen is the invoice screen. This is under finance and sales invoices, and it will show all the jobs that are currently awaiting invoicing. If you want to know how to filter the jobs, you can have a look at the video on how to filter jobs on the invoice screen, which is linked here. For this example, we're just going to select a few of these to create invoices for. So to select an invoice to run, all you would need to do is tick the boxes associated with the jobs that you want to invoice. It's worth noting that if you have certain settings on in the customer screen, you may not be able to tick until you have a hard copy POD or a purchase order number, and it will highlight those areas to show you those are required. So for here, I've selected a couple of jobs here. We have 2 jobs for Demo Newmark, a job for Timmy's Windows, and a couple of jobs for Madness. To actually do your invoices, you would use this section here, which is the Produce Invoices section. The action is what you're wanting to do. This will come in 3 main flavors: a preview, which will just show you what the invoice is going to look like. You will not be able to do anything with it. It will not enter it into the system. Next, we have a commit and preview. This will commit the invoice to the system. It will stamp an invoice number against it, and it will show you a preview which you can then print out. And lastly, we have commit and email. This will commit it to the system and show you a preview that you can print out. It will also email the correct invoices to the correct customer. We recommend this if you are emailing invoices to the customer, because it will make sure that, in this case, Demo Newmark will only get invoices related to Demo Newmark, Timmy's Windows will only get invoices related to Timmy's Windows, and Madness will only get invoices related to them. Each of these sections here can be split down into 2 different types. You have a combined and a detailed. For a detailed invoice, if I select that for the moment, what a detailed invoice will do is it will create a separate invoice for every job that you have ticked on the lower area here, regardless of who they're for. If I just do a preview of that using our standard invoice template, I can run the preview. I'll just ignore any pop-ups that come up at the moment. What will come up now is a preview of those invoices with a warning that they have not been entered into the system. And here we can see that it has done a single job for each invoice. If I now compare that and do the same again, but with a combined invoice, and note I still have those same jobs ticked here, and click on go, ignore the pop-ups again. This time when it's finished processing them, we'll be able to see that for the customer, Demo Newmark, we now have both jobs on a single invoice. For the Madness, we now have all 4 jobs on a single invoice. And for Timmy's Windows, we have his job on a single invoice. The invoice template is how you want the invoice to look. The standard ones will be your basic invoice, which will be a minimal address detail. I'll go back to our preview of detailed and show you a minimal invoice. You can see here that it simply shows collection and the collection address, delivery address or town in this case, a quick additional price summary, and the price for the job. And at the bottom we have the whole price with the VAT added on. The other standard ones are the invoice totals. This comes in 4 flavors, where you can have invoice with the totals on the back sheet if it's a multi-page invoice, or the front sheet, and you can choose to include POD information or not. So if I just show you an invoice totals on back sheet, including the pods, and now we can see that it has given us full address details on there and the full pod details of who signed for it and when they signed, as well as the other information that was on the other invoice of the additional price summary and the tally up at the bottom of the invoice sheet.
Thanks for watching.